Looked like he was shot out of a cannon down the lane.
Over the top for Jamie Vardy. This is where he wants it. It's Jamie Vardy! What a goal! Bournemouth caught cold at the back, and that is absolutely perfect.
Oh, Maldini on top, finishing above the rim.
That's a good ball, and that's a great goal. Bournemouth strike back, and Callum Wilson is up.
A nightfall victory for Arsenal.
Take it to the rack, go to the big man.
We have to manage the last gap goal.
Say both top point guards, you can make things happen.
And almost scored.
Scored by Daniel Ceballos to book a place in the semi-final of the English FA Cup. The match just ended just right now. 2-1 win. Nicolas Pepe scoring from a penalty spot on the 25th minute.
Since September 2018.
Sheffield United hit back
Fabulous save from
by David McGoldrick in the 87th minute, but then Daniel Ceballos scored the winner. 2-1. It ended for Arsenal against Sheffield United in English FA Cup.
behind the back to the Celtic.
Of course, yesterday, after extra time, Manchester United also defeated Norwich City 2-1 to also book their place in the next round. Other matches today, Leicester City will take on Chelsea. It's exactly 4 p.m. Nigerian time. And of course, Newcastle United will take on Manchester City. Another FA Cup games. Welcome on board to another edition of Sport Tuzzle on Pensioners 106.7 FM. Balodi of our radio. Agbari going the city of Ibadan. The first and only Labour radio in Africa. They used to say I work without play, Miss Jackie, dog boy, but that's everything without sport. That makes me the dullest guy ever live it. And of course, in case you're just joining out for the very first time on this show, this is Sports Tuzzle, your number one sport argumentative show on radio. This is where we banter, we argue, we do battle, we compare and contrast players, coaches, clubs, and talk about it. And today will not be different. It promises to be another exciting package this afternoon. And of course, what are we looking at? It's a battle to envisage. Two great legends of the game retired. They held their own during their era. They won almost everything available in football. Everything you can think about. They are defenders. But before I introduce, before I tell you who and who we are comparing this afternoon, let me bring in the toss last. I got a male and of course a female. It's been a long while. I had a female on this show. But this afternoon, a female who is confident enough to do battle to Tuzzle is right here in the studio, ready for action. Okay, a little bit of introduction. I call her JB. Oluwajubelo. I hope I'm right. Good afternoon.
Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Pensioners. Good afternoon to all the listeners.
Good story wants it. It's Jamie Vardy! What a goal!
Good afternoon.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Raymond. Good afternoon, Pensioners FM. Good afternoon, Ibadan. Good afternoon to everybody listening to us here in Southwest, Nigeria as a whole, and Africa as a whole. It's a pleasure to be here this afternoon to talk sport again. Like you said earlier, a day without sports could probably made us the dullest person. I mean, the person that you don't want to be with without sports. But then it's good that we have the sports. It's good that we are living it, and it's good that we're enjoying it.
It's good that we're living it. It's good that we're enjoying it. Football is back everywhere, of course. Leagues all over Europe. I'll give you a rundown of results and fixtures. But then, I got the man as well. Young man. He call himself Man of Grace. Man of Grace. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Raymond. Good afternoon to every listeners listening at home at the moment. It's a pleasure being on the program this evening.
Okay, welcome on board. Of course, you heard your voice. Like I said, it promises to be another exciting one this afternoon. In case you are listening to us, you can watch us live on Facebook, Pensioners FM 106.7. Want to see how we do in the studio? Pensioners FM 106.7. And you can see who the Toslers are. And of course, see how proceedings is going on inside here. Okay, to the main deal. Enough of pre-match formalities. This is the battle of the greatest left back the world of football has ever seen. What are we talking about? Your guess is as good as mine. The man with a very strong shot power, Roberto Carlos. The Brazilian who featured for Real Madrid and Inter Milan, a World Cup winner, Champions League winner. Indispensable Roberto Carlos against the man who spans across the 90s, the 80s, the 90s, and even the year 2000s. Talking about Milan legend Paolo Maldini. Battle of the greatest left back in the world of football. This is what we are going to do this afternoon. Paolo Maldini against Roberto Carlos. Big one there this afternoon. So, man of grace, Maldini Carlos, who is your pick?
Every other day, I will always go for Roberto Carlos da Silva Rocha.
Roberto Carlos da Silva Rocha. Oriki complete. JB, you are up against Roberto Carlos.
Yeah.
Paolo Maldini. Let me start this way. Who is Paolo Maldini?
Well, Paolo Maldini is an Italian legend. He plays his whole career for AC Milan, 25 years with AC Milan. He had about 647 caps for AC Milan. He won about 25 major trophies with them. No, he spent 25 seasons with AC Milan. He won 5 Champions League with them. He started his career as a right back. But because of AC Milan's style of play, he could play as a right back, he could play as a left back. And later, he was deployed as a central midfielder. As a central defender rather. As a centre back rather. But what amazes me was that in every of this position, this man was a Sussex.
He excelled. Fantastic. Started as a right back, before we know, left back, central. Okay. Who is Roberto Carlos, man of grace?
Roberto Carlos da Silva Rocha he was born on April 10, 1973, which means this year he clocked age 47. So now looking at his career, he started his career as a forward. Started his career as a forward when he was still playing in the amateur sides, but his professional career started when he was that was 1991 when he played with Onsao Jao. That was in Brazil. Then after that he moved to Atletico Mineiro. That was on loan. Then from there he moved to Palmeiras. Then from there to Inter Milan, to Real Madrid, to Fenerbahce, Corinthians, Anchi Madagascar, and Delhi Dynamos. During all this, all his careers, when he started his career professionally, he started on the left back. But at the latest, and as well, he sometimes features at the central back. But later on, when he was at Anzi Madagascar, because that time he was very old, so he was being deployed as a defensive midfielder.
That's a little bit of introduction of both Paolo Maldini and of course Roberto Carlos. So now sit back, we're going to the battle properly. The battle of the greatest left back. Paolo Maldini, and of course Roberto Carlos. Okay, let's start this way. What is unique about Maldini? What is unique about Roberto Carlos?
For me, what is unique about Maldini is, let me start from his country and what is supposed to be, let me say, what is supposed to be his fortress. He's an Italian, and when you hear Italy in the world of football, you think riots, you think thug, you think stout. But Maldini is clearly different from this. He's a defender, and it will surprise you that a defender from Italy that spent 25 years in the game, he accrued just 3 red cards. That is unusual.
Unusual.
Very unusual for any Italian player. He was tagged an icon and the gentleman of the game. He is indeed a gentleman. That is, a gentleman does not mean he did not know his rights or his duty as a defender. He did all the duties very well. He excelled, but he did it in a gentful way and in a meaningful way. So for me, that for him is very unique about him.
One of grace, what is unique about Roberto Carlos?
When you talk about Roberto Carlos, that reminds me of his nicknames. One of the nicknames is the Bullet Man. Some people call him the Cannon. Some call him the man with the impossible strikes. Reason being that he has a technique at which he play his set pieces, especially free kicks. That reminds me. I think that was a game against France. He played. He played a particular free kick, banana free kick, and even it defies the laws of physics. So that's telling you that this man that we're talking about, and when it comes to playing long range shots, is number one. And when you talk about the pace of his game, talk about his strength. We talk about someone that there was a time he ran 100 meters in just 10.6 seconds. Even Usain Bolt that is holding the world record, I think he has his own in 9-point-something seconds. Yeah. That's telling you about his athlete. I think it's someone that's very athletic. That is, as in when you just talk about his all-round game, Roberto Carlos is a legend.
We are getting somewhere. It's getting interesting in here. But now you can go straight to Twitter at Sports Tuzzle. Drop your comments.
Shot out of a cannon down the lane.
The Tuzzle update is there at Sports Tuzzle. Paolo Maldini against Roberto Carlos. Okay, left fullback are known to be defenders definitely, and not the modern day football we see today that they've turned fullback. So, and of course, they are the old guys there before they got retired at the end of the day. So I'm going to look at it this way: Carlos against Paolo Maldini. Their tackle success, their tackle execution, 1-on-1. Talking about a winger now moving across to either Maldini or Roberto Carlos. Who has that? Who can you put your money on that? I'm very sure Carlos is going to stop this man. I'm very sure Maldini is going to stop this man. Talking about their tackle execution. Okay.
Let me start with Paolo Maldini, and I'll take a frame from what one of the greatest wingers in the world of sports said. I'm taking I'm quoting Ronaldinho verbatim right now. He said he was one of the best defenders in the Champions League history. But what was so impressive about him is that when he was on the ball, he didn't look like a defender, but like an elegant midfield player. Let's go to Ronaldo de Lima. I found it very difficult when I came up against Paolo Maldini. He was the best defender I faced over the course of my career. He definitely deserved to win the FIFA Award Player of the Year several times. Let me go to Zlatan Ibrahimovic, someone we love to call the dog. We know when Zlatan comes up against you, he wants to bully you. But Zlatan said Maldini was the best and toughest defender I ever faced. He had everything. He was a complete defender who was strong, intelligent, and an excellent man marker. That last frame, excellent man marker. When you are facing Paolo Maldini, is that how you take your life or you take your leg? Because if you don't take your life, you will remove the ball. But if you put your leg on the ground, you will still remove the leg joint.
So both you are not safe.
You are not safe. So when you are coming against Maldini, you just know that he's not rash. Like I said when I was introducing, he's not rash, but he knows what he wants to do, and he will not back out for you with his brain. And To surprise you, he can use both foot. Very good with both foot. So you want to come as a right winger, as a left winger, you are meeting Maldini. And you know when Maldini comes up against you, first thing he uses is brain. Maldini is not a defender that relies solely on pace. First thing Maldini will do is brain. He reads the game very well. He knows you want to cut to the left or you want to cut to the right. So wherever you are going, he is following you with sense. He's not just following you around. He's following you with sense. Zlatan Ibrahimovic said, excellent man marker. Excellence. For Zlatan Ibrahimovic to say someone is excellent, we know Zlatan loves to brainwash people. He loves to throw people into the trash. He loves to belittle people. But when Zlatan said he's an excellent marker, you already know that man has done a lot in the game.
So for tackle execution, you're going for Maldini?
I'm going in for Maldini.
Man of grace. Seems like Maldini is taking everything away from me.
No, Maldini is not taking anything away from me as far as I'm concerned. Now, when she's talking about Maldini wants, I think it should be this year or last year, Maldini quoted a phrase. I think he quoted a statement. He said, if until he made a mistake, that's until when you have to make a tackle. I think he quoted that should be this year or last year. He said until when he make a mistake, that's until when you have to make a tackle. Now, what point am I driving at here? What I'm driving at here is the fact that when you talk about Roberto Carlos is a person that, let me say, he has a tie that, which is one of the players that has been rated that has a very big tie, and this is an advantage for him when it comes to tackling, because when you talk about tackling now, even when we are still much younger, during his playing days, we used to there's something we used to say, better be Roberto Carlos.
Definitely.
So that's telling you, because when it comes to tackling, he didn't need to injure you. Once he just bring his thigh close to you, you know you have to leave the ball for him. That's one thing about him. The technicality is there.
Aggressive. It's taken to the rack. Go to the big.
The technicality is there.
What do we say, both?
Give him the tie and he takes the ball away from you. That is Roberto Carlos. But when you're talking about excellent man marker according to JB, then it has to be Paolo Maldini. So who makes a better tackle between the two? Who comes out on top? Carlos Maldini.
What I would say is that Carlos has that better, because like what I just said is one thing that always help him in tackling is his thigh. Once he come close to a player, then once he's able to use his thigh to